Hello students, welcome to BookmarksEducare. Today we are going to talk about malaria. So let's see. So what is malaria? Malaria is an infectious disease caused by a parasite which is named as Plasmodium, right? So malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by Plasmodium parasite. It is transmitted through mosquito bites primarily. Now let's see some details about malaria. That is the key species of Plasmodium. See, Plasmodium is a genus, right? So key species of Plasmodium that affects us and causes malaria are mainly four types: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae, and also there is Plasmodium ovale. Okay, so these four mainly causes malaria, and malaria is carried by Anopheles mosquito. Okay, now here is some symptoms that is written, that is fever, headache, chills, anemia, etc., which can lead to various more complications. Now, chills, it means a shivering feelings, a feeling of cold when you have fever. Global impact, obviously, malaria is a highly contagious disease and it is present throughout world. Okay, and mostly it affects the tropical region of world. Now let's see the species category of Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a protista which comes under the phylum Epicomplexa, class Aconodacea. Okay, then order Hemosporaria, family Plasmodium, family Plasmodium, and genus is Plasmodium. And under this we get Vivax, Falciparum, Malariae, and Ovale. Okay, so overview of the life cycle of malaria. See, Plasmodium is a obligatory parasite. That means they complete their whole life cycle, sexual and asexual, in some kind of host. They cannot survive without a host. Now, for malaria, for Plasmodium, human and Anopheles, as in human and Anopheles mosquito, both are host. But there is a little difference. That is, primary and definitive host is female Anopheles mosquito. So, what does definitive host means? Definitive host means the host in which the parasite completes their sexual life cycle. Okay, the sexual phase is completed inside the definitive host, and then intermediate host is human, where asexual phase conducts. asexual phase खत्म complete होता है human के अंदर, उसको हम बोलते हैं साइजोगोनी, and sexual phase को हम गैमोगोनी and स्पोरोगोनी बोलते हैं. Why, we will see. So three main stages in this parasite life cycle is gametocide, sporozoites, and merozoites. Cycle alternative between sexual asexual reproduction in human and sexual reproduction in mosquito. Okay, so what did we learn in this slide? That is, Plasmodium has two different hosts. One is mosquito, Anopheles, and second is human. Anopheles is the definitive host where they complete their sexual life cycle, and human is the intermediate host or secondary host where they complete their asexual phase. Let's see asexual phase in the human. So let's focus on this image first. This is a proboscis of mosquito, as in the part which bites us. Now, when the proboscis enters a human skin through salivary gland, this is something we have to remember, that mosquitoes stores the sporozoite in their salivary gland. Okay? So through salivary gland, the sporozoites come into your bloodstream, and through bloodstream it goes to the liver, and inside liver they form liver schizoid, which in turn creates merozoite. Okay, so let's see here. Infected mosquito bites human, injecting sporozoite. As I said, sporozoites travel to liver through blood. Sporozoites invade hepatocyte, hepatocyte meaning liver cell. Okay, and they multiply asexually. This is asexual reproduction. Okay, and schizoid ruptures, releasing thousands of merozoites into blood, and these merozoites they infect RBC. Okay, and there is one more thing that is called hypnozoite, which is hypnozoite is something, it stays in an incubation phase. Okay, hypnozoite stays in your body without showing any symptoms, no symptoms. Okay, it is a incubation stage, or you can say it is a like suppressed stage. Okay, this is suppressed, and when the parasite gets suitable environment inside your body, or your body immune system is little bit weaker, then they will relapse. Okay, so hypnozoite is the incubation or suppressed stage from where it can again affect you. Then see, this is the life cycle in human blood. Erythrocytic schizogony. Erythrocyte, why? Because erythrocyte means RBC, and after merozoite enters RBC, some development takes place. That is why we call it erythrocytic schizogony. Schizogony because merozoite further evolves, or rather develop into schizoids. We will see that. Merozoite invades red blood cell. It delves into it develops into ring-shaped trophozoites. See, these are trophozoites. And then trophozoites matures into cyzoids. See, cyzoids. And also from cyzoid, they will create different gametocytes. This is male and female gamete. These gametes will further go into the mosquito when a mosquito sucks on a affected or infected human being. When a person who is affected by malaria is bitten by a mosquito, these gametocytes will then go into that mosquito and then further complete their sexual phase there. Okay. Cyzoids rupture RBC, releasing more merozoites. See, this is why malaria can cause anemia and further blood related diseases, because they are constantly rupturing and using your RBC as a vehicle. So your red blood cell counts drop and your immune system also gets affected. So some merozoites differentiate into gametocytes, microgametes and macrogametes. These two names, microgamete and macrogametes. These are named because of their size. The male gamete is usually much smaller than the female. These names are based on their size. The male gametes are much smaller than the female gametes. That's why the female gamete is called microgamete. Sorry, the female gametes are called macrogametocytes, and the male ones, which are smaller than female, is called microgametocyte. Okay. Now let's see the sexual phase that happens in the mosquito. So as I said, when mosquito feast on your blood, the sporozoites, see these gametocytes will get into the mosquito. Okay. And then gametocytes is ingested with blood meal. As I said, when they feast on your blood, they get the gametocytes. These gametocytes will go into mosquito guts, and from there they will fertilize and form eggs. Okay. This fertilization takes place and zygote occurs. After that, these zygotes develop inside the mosquito gut, and then zygote become eukainate. This eukainate penetrates gut wall from oocytes. Okay, see, this is called eukainate. They will get out, and when going out, they will take a little bit of membrane from the gut and form oocytes. These oocytes will then further move and get into thousands of sporozoites. These sporozoites are which that affected humans previously, right? So these sporozoites are gonna migrate to salivary gland, like we studied already. See, from salivary gland, this is the sporozoites are getting into human, and in mosquito, when the zygote formation is complete and the zygotes develop thoroughly, they will form sporozoites which travels to the mosquito and gets into the mosquito salivary gland. This life cycle happens in 10 to 20 days. This is something important information you have to remember, because sometimes they ask in multiple choice questions that how much time mosquitoes need to mature gametocytes, or sorry, how much time Anopheles body the sporozoites will get and stay in the salivary gland. These kind of questions they sometimes ask. Okay, see, this is the whole structure of life cycle of Plasmodium. Okay. If we see, we will start here. Here, a mosquito is biting the human, and as they bite or as they take blood meal, the sporozoites get into human blood. These sporozoites then will travel to hepatocytes or liver cell. In liver cell, they will mature. They will form merozoites. These merozoites will get into human blood. See, cyzoids and then merozoites. This is merozoite. This merozoite will get into human blood, and then they will infect the RBC. This is RBC. And inside the RBC, they will form ring structures. Also, another important thing, this ring structure where merozoite is in the RBC is sometimes called as signet ring. Okay. Remember this, because sometimes they ask again in short questions. After that, this sporozoite will form inside RBC. They will form immature trophozoites. Trophozoites will mature. After maturation, trophozoites will sorry. Now you can see, I guess. So after maturation, the sporozoites will have two different fates. Some of the sporozoites will form gametocytes, and some of them will keep dividing and making more sporozoites. And these gametocytes will then get into mosquito again when a mosquito feasts on an infected human. After getting into mosquito, the macrogametes and microgamete will create zygote, and then that zygote will develop. After developing, throughout the process, zygotes will then form sporozoites, which again will affect the human. Significance and prevention. So significance, of course, malaria is a disease which affects people throughout the world, and it is one of the disease with highest mortality rate. Although this is prevalent in the tropical region, because the this tropical region is a very suitable habitat for mosquitoes. Okay, so because there has many more number of mosquitoes, the number of infected patients also increases. So understanding the cycle helps in targeting intervention, meaning we will use specific drugs based on their life stage in which the plasmodium is existing. The prevention use mosquito nets, elimination breeding sites, meaning stagnant water. As we all know by now that mosquito breeds in stagnant water and their larvae mature there also. So by preventing water from getting locked and staying locked for a long time, we can prevent their breeding. Anti-malarial drugs, as in chloroquine for prophylaxis. Chloroquine is a very important drug for malaria treatment. And vaccine like RTS, Mosquirix, these are also some vaccines which are newly created to target the sporozoites. Control measures, vector control. Again, vector control meaning we cannot stop properly, but we will try to stop their breeding as much as possible. We will check on patients and try to get early diagnostics so the infected patient can be isolated and treated as such, and of course treatment. So thank you for listening to Bookmarks, and stay tuned. We will come back again with another video.